Hey. So, I just wanted to talk about what goes on here where I live. It's very clear that my neighbor, especially this upstairs neighbor, I have a neighbor live over there. I spoke with you about because I had gotten into a little passing of the words with her over some shit really don't have nothing to do with me. It had something to do with like a distant relative. And a crime he committed in which he's serving the rest of his life for. So yeah, I'm not paying for nobody else seeing sis. But that's part of what's going on. Her name is Lori Parker. She's supposed to be like going with the victim's brother who's said to be in jail, but I really don't believe he's in jail. I even think the police lied about it. The police are very much so in on this whole gang stalking thing. A couple guys I even went to school with, Orlandis Briggs, like a Lawrence Wise. Also, like his family owns this popular skating rink here. I don't know what it's called now. It used to be called Skate King, which I forgot. They changed the name. And whatnot. His sister even has gang stalked me quite a few times. Her name is Laura Wise. Excuse that. Those are, my documents for reporting these people for as my job. And that's what I was trying to explain to y'all at one instance. Like, we're not just limited to the police. They're not the only ones who, investigate different things and whatnot. There's also the EEOS I have here, Commission for Human Rights. This is a major violation of my human rights. It's terrorism, amongst a lot of other, heinous things. I know they have some kind of technology or the spy app itself that keeps me from, dialing out to different people, places, and whatnot that I desire. So it's like total control. And it's scary. It's really, really a horrible feeling for somebody to have that level of control over you. And it's crazy knowing that your neighbors are more than likely looking and listening in on you. I just put on some clothes. Obviously, this is my home, my bedroom. I'm usually butt naked, especially if my kids go. So you have to get naked to, change your clothes and stuff like that. And they always make sounds. It's mostly a guy that be up there. A couple, but mostly a guy be up there. They make sounds. Depending on what's being said and what you're doing. It could be via a song, it could be via your words, it could be a host of different things. I've been getting lots of messages saying that it's an ex of mine named 50, which is very, very unsettling. I tried to clear the air with him a couple years ago and he didn't want to. We really have no other business. Why do you want to watch my day-to-day all day? It's not, normal to want to watch, somebody day-to-day who didn't sign up for it. Like, yeah, it's just pretty crooked. Not only that, my ex-husband and it's just like I told you, I highly feel like I'm being streamed. I really do. My whole life is being streamed, and you know, kind of fucking serious ass charges that can be brought up on these people. And these not the only names being thrown out there. My little sister, her initials TH, my little cousin TR. And oftentimes I'll see TR with DR. Those are both my cousins. I've seen like messages the other day talking about my sister's birthday. When I tell you these people don't invite me to shit and nothing, and haven't, that's how you know when the full on dynamics of all your relationships change. You know they're in on it, and then when you are around them, they're gaslighting you. When you are around them, they're they're love bombing you in a sense, because that's not just limited to romantic relationships. They're just copying all the behaviors of these strangers and other people that are gang stalkers. And it's like it's crazy because it's family, and like I said, these are people. It's my sister. So need I say more? We was raised together, and really you chose to be my op. You know what I'm saying? And when I tell you they leave me out of everything, I'll invite them to things. They don't support me at all and haven't for quite some time. They don't support my kids, but they would like send their children to different things. But as far as them attending, they won't do that anymore. And it bothers them as well. I just try to keep their expectations low of people. I prefer to not play both sides. Just pick a side and stay there. You want to be an enemy, just be that. Don't pretend like shit's sweet, because like in my face you're highly respectful. Yeah, you throw some subs in, some sneak disses here and there, but that's always been a tactic of cowards. Anybody who has to hide behind a facade, a screen, trolling, that's cowardly. You know, you're not gonna be direct to my face, which is, which is fine. It's what you're gonna have to do, but make sure, since that's what you chose to do, LaShonda Hopkins now, um, you just ready for what comes next, which is your name being put out there. I'm not just limited to this YouTube stuff. I do this because I hope somebody just knows somebody. You know what I'm saying? Who would investigate? Like I said, it's feds out here. It's investigators in general. Other people besides your local police that advocate for you. So I'm just hoping that also happens. I'm really willing to do any and everything, including put myself out there, which I already have. Just to get my life back. You know what I'm saying? Or fucking die trying. Like, bitch, I'm not scared of y'all. The fuck? Y'all scared of me. Let's just be clear. You scared of me. So, yeah, I'm just not gonna stop. My next thing is it's what I'm about to do now. Get everything on paper. Get some names on paper and pass them out. If it's a gang stalker, here, take this, because I don't think all these people know really what all is taking place and what all they're participating in. I don't think they know the full gist of what they're. Not all of them. They couldn't know. And I say that because of the caliber of people that they have participating. These people from all walks of life. You know what I'm saying? So, I get really, really uncomfortable when I can't call out to whomever. Like it's very odd where you calling, all these numbers and no one answers for you. Somebody blocking your shit. And it's another name that also keeps coming up. Nico Rucker and Dorian Douglas. These are all people who were of the same class. We all went to school together. And there was a huge, huge epidemic going on. And I believe they just tried to make me make me the fall person for it. When I'm just as much as victim as them. But I know a lot of these people, they're into very fraudulent things. I mean, hacking someone's phone in general. It's highly illegal, and stalkers do get caught. And I have a higher chance of getting them caught because I'm doing the leg work. I have an ex cousin of Darius Miles. I believe he started all this off because, like I told you before, they sent their friend with their picture and name on the ID saying he, works for third party electric company and wanted to view my bills, see if he could save me some money. I'm like, no. And I know y'all think I don't remember this guy. So, and then a couple days later, like a huge white envelope was left in front of my building door that said Darius. And I'm like, why? Darius Miles and the cousin Darius Mason is who I dated very, very briefly when I was like fucking 16 years old, probably, after my first a person I slept with one time for a fucking short time. It was definitely no big deal. Definitely not anybody I'd be into now. This gentleman named Adonis Jackson. I don't believe it's just no one person who scoped my life and just mentioned all the names of people I'm associated with. I really think they have it so all these people are able to, communicate with me in different ways via my phone. It's a guy who was acting really obsessive, really, really early. And come to find out, he's linked to, lots of people I went to church with whom I've already had on my shit list for gang stalking. Joneses, such as Jocelyn Jones, Iceland Jones, Carlton. Far as I know, his name was Carlton Jones, but it says Ward on everything. I thought the boy name was Jones. Cartavius Jackson, Everett Gates, Brandon Lee, all of them are associated, and they have this like. And if you heard of T Baby Ooh Wee, she's somebody who's hitting all this as well. You have to probably look her up, but I'm sure she got plenty videos on her. Yeah, she tend to promo for a lot of people in clubs and organizations, even done like different community type of organizing, and done some good for the community, which a lot of them have, but that's just on the surface. Like I said, these people into some cultish, wicked, sick, stalkerish shit, man, to the point where her friend, this guy named Tommy, little rough dude, kept fucking following me and shit. And matter of fact, I gave him my number. I probably met up with him one time, and he was drunk, acting crazy and shit, and aggressive. It's my last time with him, says. So we was just around each other for some minutes, and I got the fuck out of there. And so, and it seemed like the men who I don't give a chance to get really close with me, they act the craziest, like the Adonis Jackson person. And I don't know why they would support each other in that obsessive type behavior. I mean, this dude almost fucking 7 feet tall, and at first seemed to be very sensitive and, act like he just respect women so much, and, seemed to be very, normal. I'll just leave it at that. You don't need a lot of fucking adjectives. Just, put on this facade like he's just a normal dude. and a good dude, and like even putting other guys down, which he mentioned was, again, people were already on my shit list. Andre Taylor, of the Dirty Boys, supposedly, a motorcycle gang, and he's somebody who kept trying to get me to meet up with him and he had a girlfriend or whatever. I'm like, I noticed he was good friends with an ex of mine, Nicholas Hankins. And I'm like, they trying to set me the fuck up. I'll never meet you nowhere, my nigga. You trying to set me up. Yeah. Man, if I would have fell for a lot of shit, they would have been trying to hurt me by now. Period. They would have been trying to hurt me. And what's worse is knowing that my exes working with them. Exes that I had good reports with, and my ex-husband included, my kid's father, y'all. Y'all know how crazy that is, because I feel like, dude, like, I would never. The boy gonna ask me to come over, knowing I know what he doing. He asked me to come where he was at the other day after he picked up my kids. Come here. No, I don't even like you. I don't respect you. You threw me under the bus. You would not protect me. When I was telling you about all this shit, undeniable shit. People leaving candy on our door. You gonna feed it to me. That's how you know he knew, like, what they was doing. His friend, and it turns out the whole time, mind you, I got in this apartment beforehand, alone, and turns out I was basically baited to this apartment, and this guy named Chaz, probably a fake ass name, Chaz Zirdali, was the name of the guy, but Chaz for short. It's spelled Caesar. Dele, Delee, owned the property with his family, and he was so-called, brothers to Larry Coleman, which is, one of the first people I suspected. He was my first suspect in all this. So, I instantly, when I found that, I'm like, oh my God, especially because I was already, as soon as I got there, and I don't know if I expected anything different, probably not, but nothing like that, having lived there and whatnot, I didn't expect, like, for it to be somebody that close. Like the lady, who's the landlady, her property manager, she's somebody random, but not, like I said, my cousin Albert Ross, he is in jail for the murder of Justin Connors. His dad or somebody, Justin Connors Sr., is a very large part of why this is happening to me and why attacks has intensified, because it was going on way before. Matter of fact, a lot of people live here. Their last name Connors, and it's crazy. It's stupid the way they put they self out there, because it was easy to connect the dots for me. Like, they got the mailman, so-called name. My bitch is fake ass name, Thaddeus Connor. And then over there, the lady Lori Parker, old white lady, 60-something years old, supposedly, is romantically involved with the victim's brother, Shane Connor. You know what I'm saying? And I just reported that shit some weeks ago. Matter of fact, January 1st. And I need to check on that goddamn report, because I've been reporting all the incidents. So I came to the police like, okay, here's your motive. Here's their motive. They're on some vengeance shit because of what happened, to their loved one and whatnot. Which is fine, but you got the wrong fucking one. They ain't have shit to do with me. Shit and nothing. So yeah, that's something I'm gonna be exposed. Like I said, I'll type up a whole motherfucking newsletter, a flyer, and pass them around. This bitch, I don't give a fuck. But yeah, that is Connor. And then the lady who lived, in the building next to me, her name Katrina Connor. I only found this out because she kept fucking gang stalking me, even outside of this fucking property. Her and her dude. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, man, I know I ain't just meeting up with these people every fucking where I go. And then it was suddenly, because before that period, I wasn't running into their asses any motherfucking where. I mean, no damn where. And then, man, if I had this wall full of all the connections that I've made. You know how that's what the police do, the detectives. I need to apply for a goddamn job. I'm really kind of great at it. You know how they have pictures and or names and just have little strings or more markings connecting people to each other or whatever. Yeah. So I've done that. And like the Tamika Connor girl, and you know, let's see, that's the sister of the victim. Also, you know, my ex's baby mama, and like I wonder if she knew when he would be coming over her. He's an ex from, my past life or whatever, back in high school, little love of mine. And we rekindled a couple years ago. So I'm like, he was all up and through this motherfucker, and I was all up and through his set. Like, well, what was your antennas? Like, this shit weird, dog. This shit so fucking weird. Uh, I could never. This is immoral. This is inhuman. Even it's inhumane. Period. Um. Yeah. So let's see. Those are the Connors. And like the text really intensified when I got her. They weren't fucking with my car to the point where they was fucking with the functioning of my car. You know. So they intensified her, and now I understand why. And then there's this one girl named Nene. And these are all people whom, I either had, close contact with somebody they know, whether if it's romantically or for whatever instance. They all lived in these apartments called the Cottonwoods, like a Darian Luster, and I know this guy I went to school with named Darian Luster. He got a lot to do with it because he always checking in. You know what I'm saying? How you doing? Trying to get me to meet where he at in the Sulu or where? No, what you trying to do? No, what? And I would in any other instance, cause I never on platonic friendship, but you on some other shit, like you cool with op ass people and dangerous people. Like I said, before my ex husband fucked with some guys that was from the other side of the fucking tracks. They're dangerous. I always figured that, but now I know how dangerous. Just from talking to friends and stuff like that. Because one of them just died, and she was like, "Oh, he did this, that, and the next." And I'm like, "Yeah, I don't want to be associated with that." Because any man who out here like that, you know what I'm saying, you just never know. Who trying to get some get back. I ain't saying that's what it was, because dude seemed to have cleaned his life up. And it's somebody I was super cool with to this day. We'll see each other in the club. Or some dude just be all smiles. You know what I'm saying? I had love for dude based off the history type shit. And I used to, be with his people or whatever. But, yeah, it's not something I'm willing to associate myself with. And like, I think about that, and a guy I dealt with some years ago, right when this stuff started. His name is Keenan. He got shot before, like 2 years prior to when we started talking. And while I was on the phone with him, he got shot up again. I kind of think maybe it was like fake sometimes, but I don't know. But he definitely got shot again. I'm like, And if ain't nobody get you that first time, that first attempt, it's highly like they gonna try again. So uh, be associated with that shit. It's not how I live my life. Like, even though I mess with guys like that, I was always pretty much known as, a quiet girl, good girl, so to speak, as the men would often say. I don't know, I guess that's just my environment, so I just end up messing with that type. Not only that, I was also intrigued, just by not so much the lifestyle, just the swag and that, the that type of dude, the attitude, all that. You know what I'm saying? Shit wasn't new to me, something I've seen growing up, because I got family from everywhere and from, all different backgrounds. So, you know, I don't know, that's neither here nor there. But these people are problem now. That's my problem. And yeah. And I guess that people live on the street or something. I know. I seen one of them before. The 50 guy relative, a brother or something, driving down the street. I'm like, he just want me to see him. They really calculate everything and they time everything. So when I leave out the house, they'll have their little skit prepared, honey. Lady across the street, Naya Stepney, she often do it. Oh my God. She often do it. Sorry, my back hurts. I've been a blessing to these people before. I've given them rides before. The night girl, one of them, and I done sat there and got into it with her people before. The Nene girl. And like, what happened was in my last apartment, she kept following me. She kept stalking me. And then gonna call the police on me and say I was stalking her. I'm like, girl. And they're all like tight. Her, anybody who fucking lived in them Cottonwoods. Her Strawberry, this girl named Strawberry. I don't even know these people, man. Swords guy, which I do know, I am acquainted with. And I guess I post about how I feel and what this shit doing to me and what I'm willing to do and what I'm doing to, get my justice. When I post certain things, she slide in my inbox or whatever. What you doing? Come around me. No. You on one. But my family had gotten close with his sister, which I didn't even know he had a sister. And I kind of think she was a fucking hoe this whole time, to be honest with you. I kind of, drew back from her, but I still had love for her and her kids, for real. But I had to draw back from her when all this stuff started really getting intense. And I started seeing who was all involved and, who consistently kept stalking me or posting, too many similarities to what I have going on or something that was said or done in my private life. There's a lot of what they do. It is. Let's see, the Nene girl, Ebony, this chick named Ebony. They all live, all of them. Polo Strawberry's brother, and Quasi, Antonio Weed, all lived in these apartments. But I think it was all set up like that. Like, it was baited there, and they had their little operation already in place. I don't know if they always intended for it to get this big, but it was clearly some opportunity in it. So they just went for it, Child, people sell out themselves in a minute for the right opportunity, price, clout. Just don't say they do anything for clout. So, I don't know shit about that, but because I'm just a real ass individual. I have a conscience. Um, just psychotic. Crazy people, psychotics. They delve off into you know doing crazy shit and act like it's not wrong. They don't think it's wrong. Like that is the true definition of crazy. If you look it up, it's the true definition of crazy. I really don't like. I can't find these Attorney General papers. So one or all of them blocking. Craig Titley, Ashley Samuel, Sierra Ayers. Where is the Attorney General papers? Sierra Ayers. This guy named Keegan, he like a local guy who does film and stuff like that, movies and stuff. He even had two of my cousins playing in his movies. So sleepy. Where's these Attorney General papers? Good God. Oh, here it is. Identity theft. Which I'm surely a victim of. People that hack my account. They've stolen money from me. They baited me with men that have gotten close to me. It's pretty fucking wicked. Which I've been intimate with. So, I guess we can call that. It's definitely some sort of sexual abuse going on. Gosh, how many did I get? Oh, great. I told you my stepdad. This is all great. Great tea. Great tea, actually. To start. And they want you to think it's government. It's the government, but let's just keep it the fuck real. I'm just a young regular woman. This ain't no damn government doing. Now y'all know people that's using their access, maybe. People working at high places, maybe. But this ain't no damn government ass investigation. You better talk to somebody slow. You better try to convince somebody fucking slow, baby. I'm too hip. If I wasn't, and if it wasn't for the good Lord himself, I'd been lost my goddamn mind.